Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and this is another episode of the world famous, the University Love, the best podcast, everybody in one, two, three galaxies. But, ladies and gents, boys and girls, children of all ages, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves. And we are coming to you live today. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about planning out your content while you're on vacation. Now, the reason why I bring this up, ladies and gentlemen, come Thursday night, Friday morning, me and my daughter are going to be taking a road trip. She's going to drive the first half, and I'm going to drive the second half. No, unfortunately, that won't happen. Me and my daughter are taking a road trip, and we are going to the great state of Missouri. So I'm going to be gone Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And I thought to myself, the people need you. What can you do to keep the people a going, to keep the podcast a rolling? Ladies and gentlemen, we all know what you got to do. You got to roll out the red carpet. You got to plan ahead. You got to have podcasts on deck. And the reason why is because when you gain an audience, you scratch, you claw, you fight your way up to the top. And you get to that top. One thing that can bring you down is when you don't record. You know, if you are on YouTube and you're doing YouTube every week, if you go 2 or 3 weeks, eventually you're going to lose the plot. Okay? And so, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter who you are. If you know you're going to go on vacation and you know weeks in advance, every year I know that I'm going to Missouri in May. This has been happening for the last 20 years. And so it's not like it's a situation where it's an emergency. No, this thing is already planned out. And so I thought to myself, last week, I got a plan. I got to record early. Got to have them uploaded. Got to have them ready to go. And that way, when I'm driving, Friday morning, I record at night in between the hours of 8 and sometimes 4 in the morning. But I try to upload them before 4 a.m. Upload them at 4 a.m. So that way they will be ready to go. And you have all day to get the podcast. It doesn't matter if you live in Sydney. Doesn't matter if you live in Seoul. Does not matter if you live in London, Paris. It does not matter if you live in Johannesburg. If I upload them at 4 o'clock in the morning, everybody across the galaxy will get them at a decent hour. Okay? And you want to just eventually, take, I give people advice, not for them. I give people advice about things that I've done that worked, things that I've done that don't work. One thing that was very inconsistent sometimes in the beginning is when I would record. I would record in the morning and then I would just upload it. I would record at night and then just upload it. I remember after I had one of the best times, and one of the best times as far as becoming a parent, becoming a father, watching my wife deliver our beautiful daughter and spending the first month at home with my child. It's one of the best times, one of the worst times for recording. I remember I would go back, I was in the hospital, and I remember I recorded a short video because I forgot my microphone. And so I remember I just had the phone up to my face, and I was like, yeah, I'm in the hospital, so we're gonna do a flashback and I had enough content to that point to where I could, say, hey, listen to these programs. And I remember, so I would go home every day, try to record, but for that month, it was, I would record, I would start to record, I would be with my daughter, and I remember every time that I would try to record while I thought she was asleep, she would she would wake up and start screaming, and I always laughed and I thought, man, this is tough. And I made the mistake. I was prepared, but I wasn't fully prepared. I should have recorded new episodes and then just uploaded them instead of having to go back with the retreads and then upload them. You want to, you can always do a throwback. You can always do a flashback. That's good and well, but you don't want you can't. It's hard to do a whole week, of flashbacks. Hey, let's go back to a month ago. Let's go back to 3 months ago. Let's go back to whatever. Now, if we had a baby, I could go back and have like to do 3 live shows a week, upload 2 throwbacks because there's a vast majority of different things I could talk about, different subjects that I have approached multiple times. So you can put that together. You can do this. You can do that. But I say all that to say, people still want new material. People still want to hear from you. They still want new material. They want it to be uploaded. It doesn't matter if you are, if you know you're about to come down with the cold. I know every year until whenever. My daughter, she doesn't get as runny nose as she did from the daycare, but when my daughter gets sick, my first victim, my wife. My wife will get sick. Second victim, yours truly. Okay, so I know that at some point in the wintertime, every year until my daughter's, I don't know how old, there's going to be a great chance that I'm going to get sick. And what should you do? Plan ahead. You should always be planning ahead when it comes to content. It doesn't matter. There's going to be days. Listen, there's going to be days where you absolutely do not feel like recording. There's going to be a time. There's going to come a time that you are going to look at yourself and say, I ain't got it. I ain't got it in me today. And if you already have stuff lined up, if you already have stuff recorded, this is why, if you want to shoot videos, now, if you want to make some videos, or record stuff ahead of time and just keep it in the file, something like that, you can always do that because you never know when life is going to give you the twists and turns, and you have to say, all right, I'm too busy to record, but I still have something in the barrel, and as you know, there are going to be times I had to do more of this myself. Now, me personally, whenever I record, I always say the date. And so if you ever hear a show and there's no date, that means that show has been in the vault for a while. Okay, I went a period where I wouldn't say the date, but I forgot about that, and I just been going with a date for the last however many years. Okay, and so I always say the date. You don't have to say the date, so that way you won't give it away. But I'm just letting you know that if you ever hear me, don't. If I ever, if I ever, if I ever go and there's no date mentioned, then that tape has been recorded at some time, 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Does not matter. It is definitely pre-recorded. But you always want to have a lot of content just in case. And the reason why you want to have that, you never know when, let's say you want to do affiliate marketing and you want to beat the competition. And someone that says, you say, hey, I have this free report. If you buy from me, kids, I got this free report. You pull out this report and you wrote this report months ago and you're like, Eureka, I can use this report. Now I'll write a lot of stuff I've written a lot of stuff. I've started to write more stuff. I have more. I have a lot of drafts. I wrote a draft last night. I got to finish it up after I get off this conversation with you. But the reason why I started writing a lot of drafts, you never know when things are going to take place. You never know when you want to upload articles. As you well know, I upload articles on Medium, but I got to build my website. I got to do that this week. I thought I was gonna do it yesterday. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. You know, you ever notice? You always notice. Not to get on a tangent. Anytime you really want to do something, I wanted to build my website yesterday, and the Wi-Fi, because I was in Indiana and the Wi-Fi would not work. It was very annoying. It was very irritating. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you want to make sure that you have your content mapped out. You want to make sure you have your content uploaded and ready to go when you are ready to take vacation. And so, I'm going to be gone a few days this week. There's going to be another trip I take this summer. I'm going to have everything uploaded, and by then we'll be rolling out the YouTube shorts. We'll be rolling out the videos, so forth, so forth. Que Sarah, Sarah. So we will never leave you too far behind. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We will be back tomorrow with all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening. If you haven't already, folks, push the button, subscribe. And if you haven't already, and if you are, let me help you out, kids. If you are on Spotify, do me a solid. Go to Spotify, look up Online Marketing Moves with your host, Tony Rizzano, and follow the podcast, okay? We got to get the Spotify followers up. And the reason why we got to do that is because Spotify doesn't want to kick down any dough unless you have plenty of followers. So we need all the followers we can get on Spotify. We need all the YouTube subscribers. We need subscribers, followers in every nook and cranny on social media. So if you can help me out, I would greatly appreciate that. And now, we'll be back tomorrow with the all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Zano. Thank you. God bless. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, peace.